jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy. It real what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Once again, you're tuned in to World Combat Sports Media. What's good? Salute everyone. You know what it is. If you haven't followed me on social media, I don't know where you've been, but I'm on all social media networks, Facebook, IG, Twitter, sometimes. WorldCombatSports.com, YouTube. Man, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Salute to everyone in the building. The supporters, man. The ones who rock with WCS on a regularity. Big salute to you, man. Thank y'all for pulling up, showing support to the channel, and rocking with the content. Yes, sir. Straight out the dirty. First in the building, man. Andrew Charles, what's good? What's good? WCS salute. Stormy B-Man, the sensei himself, on deck. Salute at WCS. I got another Kung Fu joint coming soon. For sure, man. Them joints be fire. You know what I'm saying? Keep that going. That's different than, talking about the regularity of boxing and everything like that. But yeah, for sure. Y'all be sure to subscribe to Stormy B Man all day, every day. So I'm not sure if y'all seen or y'all witnessed what went down recently with the entire championship showcase that went down at the Barclays between Southpaw El Chin Checker, Gervonta Tank Davis, who stands 5'5.5", 67.5-inch reach. Yes. Be More's own, sitting at 27 victories, 0 defeats, 25 coming by way of knockout. He went in there and starched Rolando Romero. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of those fights that built up that Rolando Romero was pretty much on his manifesto. He was pretty much declaring that he was going to stop Gervonta in the first round. So when we actually tuned in, we couldn't wait till all the, I'm just being honest. We couldn't wait till all the other fights went through, to get to the main event. Rolly came out, Gervonta, boom, referee instructions, sound the bell, and the fight looked pretty decent. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't an all-out war in the first 5 frames, but it was good to go. I've watched it several times. It wasn't as boring, as many people putting it out there to be, because Gervonta wasn't so-called giving them the energy. But as we already know, it's boxing. It's a sweet science. And man, did he deliver a counter straight? Oh my God. That left hand was TNT, man. It lit up Rolando's, psychological dependency. Totally shut it down. It went haywire. Rolando absolutely tried to make a return to stand up on his feet, but his left leg was just like doing a percolator. I don't know if it's somebody was playing some music on their mobile phone, but he just couldn't get up right away. It was just like twitching and shit. And the referee told him to step to his left. He did, but he thought he'd just, give the referee his gloves again, and the fight was called. Meanwhile, while that was taking place, in the audience, Ryan Garcia pretty much was in attendance. This is somebody who had been on record for so-called having mental problems and shit. And I really didn't take it serious, right? Because I just felt like you ducking another boxer isn't mental problems. You know what I'm saying? That's just you showing weakness. You know what I'm saying? I never seen a boxer in history duck at least about 45 fighters all back to back. We're not talking about challenging them in the ring. We're talking about ducking them. Ryan Garcia did that. But in the meanwhile, he was around the company of Danny Garcia and Errol Spence Jr., both world champions, right? Ryan Garcia is vying to be that world champion. And in the process, he thought it would be cool on camera to bet Errol Spence 20,000. 20,000. Bet him 20 bands, y'all. He thought it would be cool to do that. So when the sixth round came and Rolando was asking for some goddamn water, some smelling salt, and everything else that he had in the building, someone played that situation, Ryan Garcia looking at Errol Spence. So from what I heard, allegedly, is that, what you see in the thumbnail right there, Ryan Garcia was pretty much, upset. And he told Errol Spence, you can't win. You can't win. And Errol was just staring at him. For real? You gonna say that? Yeah, for real. He told him you can't win, y'all. When you look at that frame that was shot, Ryan Garcia was telling Errol you can't win. And a lot of y'all like what is he talking about? Well, Mike Coppinger, like everybody, I haven't, but Mike Coppinger, everybody like to talk about what Mike Coppinger put out there, right? He dropped and said the deal is on, close to being done and all this other stuff. And of course, Floyd came with a retort to that. I don't know who to believe when it comes to certain things that Coppinger put out, but I really can't, sit up here and read too much into it. All I know is Ryan Garcia got width of it in the process of his delirium of losing 20 stacks. He told Errol Spence Jr., you can't win. Did y'all see him in this frame when he was telling Errol Spence when it comes to then what Mike Coppinger dropped? He was telling him, Errol, you can't win. Because look, in the boxing community of the YTC, we pretty much believe that we're getting closer to a bridging the gap of seeing Spence Crawford in the ring. We getting there, people. They saying it. But I'm thankful as much as, I vilify the shit out of Ryan Garcia for being a pound for pound ducker, Duck Masters Coalition. I like that he sat up there and told Errol Spence in the crowd in this moment that he couldn't win. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate and salute Ryan for standing up for himself amid him losing 20 bands. I shot him DMs and everything. I sat there and told him, I say, Ryan, man, it's a lot of shit I don't agree with you doing. But for you to stand face to face with Errol Spence and look him in the eyes and say, Errol, as the fight get closer, man, it's just something I have to tell you. You can't win, bro. This was that moment right here. Real talk. This is a special moment. Ryan Garcia told Errol to his face, man. It didn't matter how much ice he had on. It didn't matter how mean mugging Errol was looking at Ryan. Ryan stood up to him, man, as a lightweight contender. He stood up to Errol and said, you can't win, bro. You can't win. No matter what Mike Coppinger, drop as far as the news, it's only going to get worse for you the longer you stay out the ring. Ryan Garcia told him, man, you can't win. That's blunt. Real talk. That's crazy. That's blunt as hell, man. Like, I never would have thought him of all people would sit up there and face off with Errol and say, man, straight up, if this fight is made this year, man, you can't win, bro. You can't win. Bruce Gas Boxing Jackson more in the building. What's good with it? He blew up his chin and his shins. Bruce Peace, bro. Nobody gives a F what Queen Sombrero says. Yeah, man, I do. In this particular case, I really do. I give a F what Ryan Garcia said in this frame. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I give a fuck because Ryan Garcia stood up to Errol. You know, like a lot of us. You know, this fight is looming on the horizon now, man, and people getting all hyped up about it. But once again, WCS have to bring you the other news that people won't talk about. Because Spence has a huge following on YouTube. So I have to break the news that, you know, let's get back to reality now. Let's get back to reality. Let's highlight what Ryan Garcia said to Errol Spence. He told him in the midst of this news breaking, dude, you can't win. And the shit was all caught on camera, y'all. This frame right here was all caught on camera. He's telling him, point blank, period, you ain't him. And I believe Ryan. That's the crazy part about it. I believe what he told him, man. I don't think Errol Spence can win when it comes to Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. The longer he stay out the ring, the worse it becomes, bro. The worse it becomes. He needs to stay active in order to not allow his body to go through changes and stuff. And then he have to dip back into a strenuous nutrition plan like he did for the Udenas Ugas fight. Dieting is tough. And he's visiting fights, you know, going to other people's fights. You know what that tells me? He's ready to retire. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence is ready to retire because he's taking his family, he's chilling, he's going to other fights. He's doing what people do in retirement. They travel. You know what I'm saying? They travel, they chill, they relax, they have a good time. You know what I'm saying? They just go support other fighters. That's what Errol Spence is getting ready for, man. In the process of winning 20 bands from Ryan didn't, you know, go into the shadows quietly. He pretty much told Errol, hey, bro, when it comes to Bud Crawford, you can't win that fight. And that's to all the Spencerholics. Ryan Garcia was talking to all the Spencerholics to let them know we are still here, man. It's still a hot grease summer, and we are still here, period. We're still here. We didn't go anywhere. We just took a little bit of time to digress just a bit until news broke about this fight coming out. Now that there's a ping, now that they sent the ping out, Mike Carpenter sent the ping. It might be some action. It might be some type of movement. You know what I'm saying? Activity to this, but we don't know. People just talking about, well, Bud, you know, he said this. Spence said that. Now we're going back and forth. I know both of them, you know, are really trying to make the fight. But one thing I must encourage you all to do when it comes to the Spencerholics speaking on this subject, they always try to pretend that Terrence Bud Crawford is the one that's not trying to make the fight. When in fact, these would be the same individuals that talking about boxing as a business. Boxing is a business first. We know boxing is a business, man. We know this shit is a business. So when a fighter go out there to negotiate their worth, why are you not saying it's a business then? Now you want to make it seem like, oh, he don't want to fight. He making it difficult. No, Bud, go in there to negotiations. Do what you've been doing. Getting that good, solid, guaranteed money. However you feel like. Show them that you're much more intelligent than they give you credit for. And then when it's all said and done, man, when you split the ropes on fight night, you set history once again. You become a two division, y'all. We about to witness something else crazy. We witnessed Jamel Charlo. know what I'm saying? We've witnessed freaking Shakur Stevenson just unify. We witnessed Josh Taylor. We witnessed Canelo Alvarez. We've up here witnessing some great things happen, seeing Devin Haney win the undisputed lightweight titles. Now we about to see history again. We about to see Terrence Bud Crawford become a two-weight undisputed world champion when he goes in there and get the job done against Errol Spence Jr. Man, I know it's difficult for a lot of you to swallow, but I know I want it to be a salt tablet, bro. I want that shit to be a salt tablet with no chaser. It's just like you putting a damn Alka-Seltzer tablet in your mouth. You know, you just letting it bubble up and everything like you foaming at the mouth. Yeah, that's how I want it to taste. Real talk. Because this is an epic fight. This is, no matter what I say, it's an epic fight. And I totally agree with Ryan Garcia for the first time on what he said, that I don't see how Spence can win this fight, to be honest. And it's going to get much more uglier from the time the fight is officially announced. It's going to get a lot more ugly on YouTube. Right now, we're a little bit at peace. You know what I'm saying? We just, feeling a little bit of Sung Freud jubilee from Devin Haney going up there, boxing the earlobes off Cambosis and making them look stupid after calling the man a rat. We still on the high from that shit. You know what I'm saying? But now, the Mike Coppin just dropped the news and everything. The Spencerholics and the Bud Crawford Society are somewhat at a reasonable, peace, because they're waiting. They're trying to wait for the official news to be announced by the promoter. Once that is done, then it's game over. It's game over. All the little predators come out from the shadows and shit. Everybody's going to start talking their talk. The live chats is going to start beaming, and everybody going to talk for their fighter. But the good thing about it is that all of us get to be together in one community in the YTC, right? And we get to talk about this shit. And I never told anybody to believe everything I say, but I'm just always kept it true to what my belief was. And I'm just telling you that with both my eyes open, I'm about to see a lot this year in 2022. I'm about to witness greatness once again. I get to see, Terrence go in there and earn a second weight class as undisputed. I mean, that's going to be incredible, right? That's going to be incredible, for real. It's going to be incredible. Then I get to witness individuals who bet me on YouTube send me that money like they supposed to. You know what I'm saying? And then the third thing, which may not sit well with a lot of y'all, with the Spencerholics, is the fact I get to see y'all reaction when Bud Crawford stopped Errol Spence. I get to really see in real time, what is it gonna do? Are we gonna see people go out and to the damn auditorium and start fighting? Are they gonna give us that Barclays type of energy where people was just scrapping for no damn reason? That makes me really think, like, how seriously mad are y'all gonna be when Spence don't make it to the final bell? You know what I'm saying? I mean, are we still gonna be on talking terms, or what's the deal? Are y'all still gonna pop in and say, "Hey, man, WCS, you was right about this shit, man. Regardless of the numbers and everything, Crawford did his thing, man." I mean, we was kind of hesitant to put everything into Errol Spence. We was just real hesitant, but we had to, bro, because we was in too deep. We was in too deep. All of us was in too deep, man. We had a secret society going on where we just wanted to push all the same narratives, and I really thought Errol could pull it off. I did. But the closer and the closer we got to the fight, I'm starting to think, and I'm saying, damn, Bud gonna do damage, man. He is the pound for pound best for a reason. He is a more superior fighter. I'm sure Spence was annoyed that Queen Sombrero was even seated that close to him. I put up this silly shit for 20 coins. Queen Sombrero can't win versus several guys. Hey, Mitch, I think Ryan Garcia won because you know what he told Errol Spence to his face, man. That proves to me he has some courage. Because when he was ducking all these fighters like Javante, Javier, Devin, you know what I'm saying? He was just ducking fighters. Pacquiao, he was just ducking them. Didn't want to fight him. I just thought he had a bit of cowardice in him, and he didn't really want to take the tough fight. But now he calling out everybody. He might have told Errol, say, "Man, don't fight Crawford, fight me. I move up. I'll come up to 47, just like Mikey Garcia did, and I'll fight you." I don't know. He might have told Spence that, bro. I know comeback pro Crawford, but citing Queen Sombrero is some sad shit. Man, first of all, man, if you're gonna be in the chat, Mitch, do me an incredible favor. Don't become judgmental. You know what I'm saying? Don't overly reach with assumptions, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't overly reach with assumptions. Seriously, bro. Don't do that. I'm not citing. If it's public record, I can speak on it. And word got back to me at this frame that I showed you. Ryan was telling Errol Spence to his face that, hey, you can't win, just like on Rocky. You can't win, Errol. You can't win. And I know this shit is getting back to Team Spence. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's not personal, but I know it's getting back. And that's only going to make him train that much harder, man. You know what I'm saying? Trap Media in the building. What's good? Bernie said Bud told him on Memorial Day that he hadn't received anything, that all that talk wasn't true. He said that Bud still wants 50-50, and he would prefer September, even if Triple G Canelo had the date. See? Appreciate that info there, Trap. I got to put that up there. You know what I'm saying? I got to put that up there. So, I shout out to Bernie the Boxer. I tune in to his channel. Shout out to Team Bud. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people hating on Floyd Mayweather because his quick counter, just like he do that pull counter, he execute that pull counter very sharp and crisp. You know, he was on time with this one too. Floyd Mayweather immediately responded and say, "Man, don't post that. You know, don't put that out there. That's not true." He pretty much came back quick. Now, there are a lot of people on here that don't even want to believe that Floyd may have some merit to what he's saying. And then Trap come up here and talk about what Bernie's talking about. And Bernie is as close as you can get the Team Crawford. If Crawford is still 150-50, kudos to the brother. Kudos, man. God damn it. Negotiate what the fuck you think you worth. He either going to make the fight or they're going to keep making it about the money. Because, look, I never get tired of hearing the Spencerholics keep putting this culpability off on Terrence Crawford. They keep putting the culpability off on Terrence Crawford when the man is not supposed to go in there and just say, "Well, at this stage in my career, I'm just gonna take a low ball ass deal." No, negotiate your worth. Stay strong as you possibly can. Stand on your square every tip, every angle. Stand on your square and negotiate your worth, man. Don't go in there and you know become some feeble individual. Because I'm gonna tell the Spence fans something that's not even a secret. But you just have to be on the level of maturity to understand it. Terrence Crawford is not desperate to face Errol Spence. I don't know if you all totally understand what I just told you. But for Terrence's legacy, he had already put it out there that he doesn't need Errol Spence for his legacy, bro. He doesn't need him. But for the boxing fans in the universe that is patiently awaiting, they want to see this fight. I want to see this fight. And then, of course, the promoters want to see the fight. But you're not going to make this fight off Groupons, man. You're not going to convince none of us that's astute to the game that you're going to say, well, we don't have the funds. We don't have the funds for Crawford and Spence. We don't have the funds. We just can't afford this fight. We don't have the funds. We don't believe that. Because before Canelo Alvarez and took that Lima over, y'all was offering him a 2-fight deal worth $100 million. So all of a sudden, the investors or whoever that was going to front that, they've all but disappeared. The hocus pocus of boxing. All of a sudden, they disappeared, right? And you're trying to convince me that you don't have a grain, you don't have a jar of change to make sure that both of these fighters are compensated. Errol Spence is the one that really truly wants this fight for legacy. Terrence Crawford has established his legacy. He's proven time and time again, over and over again, what his ability is to go in there and get the job done. Now, through all the heavy lifting, through all the damn hoopla, hayla on this YouTube shit, through all the lies and propaganda that's been spewed, we know damn well that a fighter like Terrence Crawford deserves nothing less than 50-50. Nothing less than 50-50. No matter how y'all feel, you can bite your fingernails and say, oh, motherfucker, God damn it, God damn. You can bite your motherfucking fingernails. You can slap your face in private. You can get mad all you freaking want. But I'm telling you, if you're still talking about money and you're saying that he don't deserve any more, like you trying to tell me he don't deserve 50-50. He should get 40. What about 40, 42? No, 40. What about 45? No, he don't deserve that. What numbers has he did? All you have to do is sit around and listen to the Spencerholics, and they fix you the same cocktail every time, bro. The same cocktail every time. They would tell you, well, Terrence Crawford, he sold this many. Errol Spence sold that many. In this particular fight right here, Errol Spence sold this. Terrence Crawford did that. And then they'll sit up here and they'll say, well, the gate. Errol Spence did this at the gate. Terrence Crawford did this at the gate. And then they'll say, well, Texas. Who been doing the big in Texas? Errol Spence been doing it big in Texas. So Bud should fight him in Texas. That's where both of them can make the most money. Because nobody going to Omaha, Nebraska to see a fight like this. They keep saying the same cocktail. You already know what ingredients they stirring that shit with. You already know. It's an acquired taste, bro. People have stood around long enough and the shit used to be very tart, sour. And you say, no, man, fuck that, man. And then you keep on listening to them and you stay around longer than you. Just give me another one of those. Yeah, the same shit. That I had last time. I know I don't like it, but I'm just gonna do it because I'm listening to some bullshit. So I want a bullshit ass drink. I'm telling you, man. They say the same shit all the time. They talk about numbers. They talk about where they should fight. The fight should be in Texas, which we know that ain't gonna happen. Bud Crawford already said it's gonna be on neutral grounds. So he put his foot down in the cement for that. Then they want to act like if the fight was in Jerry's world, it would be on neutral ground somehow. He don't have nothing to worry about. No, that's not gonna happen. And then they act like the numbers are absolutely official to base their argument that Terrence Crawford don't deserve 50-50. And then they want to come up here and act like, well, let's bring up Jokic Gamboa, 126 pounders. He hurt Crawford. So if fighters are losing pay for being hurt in a fight that they won, once again, let me rewind that. If a fighters are getting paid for being hurt in a fight that they won, how are they losing? How are they losing? If they was in a fight where they was hurt, but they still won, how are they losing? I know this shit can become a riddle, especially if I'm talking about it, but I'm just saying, like, how can you insinuate that Terrence Crawford somehow lost appraisal as a fighter from a fight that happened 8 years ago, bro? That shit is done. Just like Devin Haney said he can't be an email champion, he ain't an email champion. None of that shit. You can't sit up here and talk about shit with an email anymore when he is the reigning defending undisputed champion. So if you can't say it for Devin Haney, you sure enough can't say it for Terrence Crawford. Because last time I checked, man, he got Gamboa up out of there after he was hurt. But yet, people don't want to talk about what he did to Kell Brook and Sean Porter. People just want to get on here and remain very sensitive and angry that this is a media platform. People are going to have their own voices. You don't have to believe what the fuck I say. But I'm going with Ryan Garcia on this shit. I'm going, shit, like I can't really see it. I can't really see it, man. You can hit the replay, do your screen record. I can see it tonight. I can't see Errol Spence beating Bud Crawford. I can't see it. Maybe I should just close my eyes, man. Maybe I should close my eyes. And you know how your thought process becomes a bit more vivid when you close your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should just close my eyes and just look at it in whole different other, mental frames and shit. Because I just think at this point in time, based off, especially that last fight with Yordenis Ugas, I seriously think Errol Spence is in trouble. He's in trouble. Seriously trouble. The YouTube channels that support him heavy on here, they're in trouble. Seriously, they in serious trouble, man. You know why they in trouble? Because that next day I have to come somewhere close to their proximity of the live chat and collect my monetary reimbursement. God damn it. I have to collect my reimbursement. And then, according to who channel I'm on, I might request a link. I'll say, hey, can you drop the link? I might start getting, they might start cussing me out and shit. No, we don't want to hear that shit, man. That was some bullshit, man. That was some bullshit, man. God damn, man. Can I get the link though? Can you just drop it, the link? Just for a little bit. I just want to converse with you real quick. Nothing long term. You know what I'm saying? Not long-winded. Just short, brief. just short. Just shortly. I just want to do an impromptu to so my voice can be heard. That, I told you so. It wasn't never personal. I don't never want anybody to think this shit is personal. It's just what I believe wholeheartedly that the thumbnail you're looking at is going to happen this year in 22. That's all I'm saying. Be mad however you feel like. Miss say Queen Grande Sombrero ain't shit and full of shit same time. Damn, I wish the algorithm would be a bit more, accommodating to you, Mitch. Seemed a bit frustrated. I know Mitch is an Errol Spence fan. I wouldn't call him a fanboy. I don't use that term anyway. I feel that there's so many people that support fighters. So if you don't rock with them with a certain sense of energy, then come on, man. It's almost like you just going through the motions. You should rock with your fighter heavy. Big dog on deck, man. Salute WCS. Salute to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But this is a good deal that I'm watching with Ryan, man. Ryan Garcia, if you listen, I appreciate you. You still ain't coming off the Doug Masters Coalition because you're a capper. But I do appreciate you standing up to Errol Spence and letting him know to his face what I've been trying to explain to these cats on YouTube for a while. I'm not saying it's impossible for Spence. I'm not saying it's impossible for him to win. I'm just saying it's a granule, like a hair follicle. I'm talking about dust residue of him winning that fight. I'm being honest. People think I'm bullshit. This is my belief. I do feel this way. I do feel that Spence is past his prime. Even though you have these Spencerholics saying he's in his prime, I feel that he's past his prime. I feel that Udenis Ugas fight, he doesn't get any better than that. That was his best nutritional plan. That's not the first time we've seen him come in shredded. He looked a bit frail. And you're talking about somebody who's always in the gym, always on his nutrition, and Terrence Bud Crawford. He's going to be too strong for Spence. That work rate, it's a perfect example of what I try to explain to people, right? I try to explain to people, that if you're going to sit up here and say styles make fights, then use that for every equation that it pertains to right in front of your face. So you believe that the pace that he set with Udenis Ugas is going to be identical to the pace that he will attempt to commit suicide with when he step in there with Terrence Crawford. Let me replay that shit. So you're trying to convince me that the pace that Errol Spence set with Udenis Ugas with that punch output, that he's going to step in there with the same mindset and think he's going to walk through Terrence Crawford like that, knowing damn well that just because Udenis Ugas and Terrence Crawford may be similar in complexion, they are not the same boxers in real life. Y'all truly believe Spence is going to split the ropes and put that volume punching performance on display against Terrence Crawford? Are you serious or delirious? Which one is it? Come on, man. That shit's not even good for damn banter on YouTube. Are you seriously saying that the way you seen him perform against Udenis Ugas, that is going to be enough to face Terrence Crawford? This is a guy who came off a fight with Danny Garcia, and his second fight with Udenis Ugas, and you're trying to tell me what you witnessed in that fight would be enough for him to go to war with Terrence Crawford? It's just certain individuals in this combat game, that you look at and you want to root for them, like the Spencerholics. They root for Spence, but then I have to put into the equation where you have individuals competing in your era that happen to be your alpha. You know what I'm saying? And people don't never want to hear that a person may be your alpha. That doesn't necessarily say you're not an alpha. I'm just saying you have individual that's competing on the high level that may potentially be your alpha that you just can't beat. And in this scenario right here, this is how I see it. I just believe that Bud Crawford is Errol Spence's alpha, just like John Jones was Daniel Cormier's alpha. But Daniel Cormier is a Hall of Famer. But he never could defeat John Jones, who, many considered one of the best to ever do it to this day. Daniel Cormier came over to the dang arena undefeated, dropping heavyweights on their head. But when it comes to this welterweight division, man, and this dude they call Bud Crawford talked about he want to go in here and take care of Spence, fight Spence, and then he want Jermell Charlo. Come on, man. There's no way y'all can sit up here and continue to say that Errol Spence did everything. He did all the heavy lifting and just ignore the fact that Bud is up here challenging these cats, dog. Come on, man. He's challenging these dudes. He's challenged them so much that Jamel Charlo say, man, you better worry about that. We ain't worried about them little boy. And then don't get it twisted. I know people are gonna say, well, Jamel Charlo, you see what he did to Brian Castano. Yeah, but you have to be analytically sound and just be patient enough to look at something over and over again and understand that Bud Crawford doesn't box like Brian Castano. Brian Castano, in my opinion, he wanted to continue to come forward and be predictable, and he wanted to go in there and try to prove a point to break down Jamel Charlo. Even though he won a serious power puncher like that, he wanted to stay right there in front of his face. You think Bud Crawford gonna do that with Jamel Charlo? Did Tony Harrison do that? Did Tony Harrison do it when he defeated him? The only man to defeat Jamel Charlo. Did Tony Harrison go in there and stand in front of Jamel Charlo like Brian Castano did and trade? Okay, cool. We understand that wasn't the case. When Roland Romero was stepping there with Gervonta Davis, everybody was just thinking about Isaac Cruz. And they were saying, well, Roland Romero is bigger than Isaac Cruz. He's going to have much more of an easier time with Gervonta because he's a much bigger fighter. Isaac Cruz is pretty small. He's a short fighter. You know what I'm saying? They was just coming up with all these scenarios without understanding that Roland Romero can't box like Cruz. Roland Romero don't have that defensive discipline like Cruz. He doesn't have the ring IQ of Cruz. Did you see how he was just scooting around the ring like he was Floyd? Like he was just scooting around like, man, I ain't scared of shit. I ain't worrying about no power. I ain't doing none of that. I'm just going to keep on following Gervonta around the ring. It didn't matter his size, people. What did matter was the guy did not have the ring IQ to be performing on a level that night that a true boxing fan would say, yeah, he's going to go in there and defeat Gervonta. It's no evidence that you can look at and say, well, on this fight right here with Gamboa, Gervonta, he got hurt. Yeah, with Gamboa, yeah. He was on the canvas. The only person that was on the canvas between Gervonta and Gamboa was Gamboa. This fight is epic regardless of what WCS put out here. It's epic. It's an epic fight, man. I'm not diluting it. I'm just on here to continually. I just have to remediate and remind the listeners, the Spencerholics, that the storm is already here. You know what I'm saying? The storm is already here, but just because you don't get rained on every day and you don't hear the thunder and you don't see the lightning, don't mean it's not casted over you. This is casted. This is here. We're ready. We're just waiting for the official word. And then y'all can come up with your heavy lifting. Y'all can come up with the same ingredients for that cocktail all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to change anything on the way he looked against Eudenis Ugas. It's not going to change the fact that Ryan Garcia, he really was smart for telling, Errol to his face that, you can't win, dog. Straight out the Rocket movie. You can't fucking win, dog. It's not being mean. It's not being mean, dog. Ugas wouldn't ever have been in the picture if he didn't get his belt via phone call when they stripped Manny. See, we can't hold that to Devin no more because he sit up there and walloped. he put motherfucking Cambosis in the cleaners. But Eudenis Ugas, I have to say he did successfully defend his belt, Andrew. But yes, indeed, when Vesputin, I believe that was his name, popped positive, you have mail. He did get the email. That's point blank, period. That's the truth. That being said, Spence did beat the crap out of him. Look, Andrew. I don't know about beating the crap out of Ugas. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I can say he beat the crap out of it, because I look at it like this, Andrew. When I look at Danny Garcia and I look at Ugas, they both took punishment. I thought the way Danny Garcia looked, oh my goodness, Danny Garcia looked bad. Yeah, Ugas was talking about his eye was bleeding for 40 hours, 40 days and 40 nights. Just saying. Ugas say, my eye was bleeding 40 days, 40 nights. Like, bro, nobody told you to stop boxing. Okay? And let's not just play as if Lawrence Cole didn't play an intricate role in that fight being stopped. Because time Ugas' eyes started to swell up, then Lawrence Cole took it to the doctor. Now I can revert this back and give you a reflection about Jojo Diaz and Tevin Farmer. Jojo Diaz, man, shit was hanging down, and they still let that fight go. They still let that fight go. How many rounds did Erickson Lubin look like he was down and out and had several hematomas on his forehead, and he kept on fighting through it? Until they said, you know what, he's taking too much punishment, get him up out of there. You know what I'm saying? But Ugas, man, and once Lawrence Cole took him over there again, I knew the fight was going to be over. I say, man, nah, they want to make sure they get the Spence Crawford fight. Lawrence Cole is the perfect referee. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is look at his fight on the undercard of Canelo and Billy Joe Saunders, and you'll see how he stopped that fight with Soto. Soto was the favorite. Japanese was really giving him all he can handle, and out of nowhere, Soto landed a little flurry that didn't even hurt him, and Lawrence Cole just stops the fight. You fought a good fight. We got to get to this main event. Good job. Good job. Way to handle yourself. And call it a night. But as far as him fucking Ugas up, man, I don't say it. I can't agree with you on that, man. Like, he took punishment like a lot of other fighters. He did, bro. Like, no, man, I don't see it. Jameer Herring took punishment. Jameer Herring took punishment against Shakur Stevenson, man. You know what I'm saying? He took punishment against Shakur Stevenson. I mean, it's been plenty of fights we can look at that we can't say that Errol Spence was a world beater when he went in there and did what he did to Ugas. And the mere fact that people are talking about punishment, Terrence Crawford just makes fights look too damn easy. I guess he just make them too damn easy. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence wants an all-out war. Terrence wants the boxing curriculum. You know what I'm saying? He want to teach, and Errol Spence wants to instruct. You know what I'm saying? And Terrence Crawford wants to teach. Errol Spence wants to instruct. He wants to somewhat do on hands training, while Terrence Crawford wants to teach you the curriculum, take you to the chalkboard, and then, have you go through and teach you the proper form and technique and all that. Errol Spence is more so an instructor. You know what I'm saying? That's just all I got to say on that. That was brutal what Lubin went through. Real talk. It was a good fight, though. I saw Lubin at the fight, Gervonta fight, man. Much respect to Erickson Lubin. I got mad respect, man. Heart of a lion. Heart of a lion. You know what I'm saying? That was a tough ass fight. But let's keep our heels together and everything. From whatever the energy is going out here in this boxing universe, the fight may indeed get announced officially this month, the middle of next month. Who freaking knows? I don't know when the fight's going to be announced. That's why I really haven't been talking about it as much. But it's still going to be a hot grease summer, y'all. It's going to be a hot grease summer. Don't worry about it. Y'all know it. It's going to be a hot grease summer, man. We just waiting for the official announcement so we can start turning up the burners. Fish Fish don't like hot grease. We already know that. It don't matter what fish it is. You toss them in some hot grease, they ain't walking up out of there. So we already know that. Until next time, man, y'all turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man.